to the Nest Podcast, your home for nerd entertainment and sports talk, where your hosts, Brandon and Zach, hash out what's happening in video games and sports every week. Enjoy the show!
Hey guys, and what's up, and welcome back to another episode of the Nest Podcast, episode 61, the Josh Beckett episode presented by Sportzilla. I'm your host, Brandon. Joining me, as always, my co-host, Zach and Justin. And boys, we are about 20 minutes late coming on because Game 4 between the Cardinals and the Braves just ended, and we still don't know who wins the pizza bet.
Nope.
Because that's what's ultimately the most important thing. It's not who goes on to the league championship series. We could care less about that. It's who wins a pizza.
That's right. That's the most important part.
But how great has this series been? We chit-chatted a little bit before we came on about it, but holy hell, it's been phenomenal. And then tonight going to 10 innings, outstanding baseball.
Yep. You couldn't ask for a better series. Super exciting, very competitive. Almost every game came down to the wire too. I was very shocked. I think it was game 2 when Braves pitcher Fulton Evix got the start and just pitched the game of his life against Jack Flaherty, who also did very well, but then our bullpen kind of gave it up. So it's been really fun to watch. It all comes down to game 5.
Yeah, you know, game 1 there in Atlanta, whenever the Cards jumped out, won that game, went out big. And honestly, the Braves shouldn't have even been in that game for the longest because 3 errors led to their 3 runs. Mm-hmm. So they weren't hitting, they weren't doing anything. They just benefited. It wasn't until late in the game that they even got their bats going. So that was a little more lopsided than it really indicated on the scoreboard. But one thing that I've noticed about this entire series that's becoming a trend, and Zach, you called it, Carlos Martinez sucks.
Yep, he sucks.
Yep, it's
hey, Malinscom or whatever his name, Malinson, I can't pronounce that. The Braves closer, Melancon is what it looks like. But they say it weird. Anyway, their closer, the Braves closer, he kind of sucks too. He's shaky.
He does, but I got to admit, when I saw Martinez warming up in the bullpen, I was like actually very excited because I knew how bad we ate him up the night before, and I was like, really? They're going to put him back in the same situation?
Well, and I said all that about game 1 to say he nearly blew that save as well. Yeah. He was on the mound when the Braves started teeing off and nearly tied the ball game.
The Braves are like Braves. They come hot. They get hot in the 8th, 9th inning. That's just their thing. But I know that if it's close on Wednesday, I hope to see Martinez in there throwing.
Yeah, and I imagine they will go to him. If Schilt is willing to go to him today, after what he did yesterday in Game 3, then why would you not do that? I of course don't agree with that, but I'm not the manager of the team, so.
Who would you go with in that situation if as a closer, 9th inning?
It's hard to say at this time of year because they just rolled with Martinez all season long. And I guess he's done okay. Obviously, we made it to the playoffs, but I've seen better outings in the late innings from Andrew Miller than I have anyone else. I can't remember what game it was, but I specifically remember him just tearing it up. Like I think I saw him get like 3 strikeouts. And then I think he started in the 8th inning and finished it out. And he did well. And that's a guy I've harped on for sucking as a middle reliever. I was listening to some talk radio about the Cards after the loss. And they were saying that Gallegos is a guy that they would go to. I honestly don't know much about him. So it's kind of a toss-up. But I think Martinez was just the fall guy, and they had to have somebody do the job, and he just ended up being that guy. He originally was a starting pitcher, sucked so bad that he became a reliever, and then was kind of like a late reliever guy to set up Hicks until Hicks got hurt. So.
Yeah, it's always shitty whenever you have an injury to a major component of your bullpen like that. Like your closer is a set guy. He knows the games when he's going to come in well in advance usually, you know. If you're blowing him out, the closer doesn't even warm up. He's just like, "Oh, thanks for the night off, boys. I'll buy you all a beer. Fuck it."
Yep.
But if I'm the Braves, I move Shane Green to the closing role. If you remember back, Zach, way early on in the season, whenever I was talking about how the Red Sox needed to address their closer in their bullpen, I said that I hope that they target Shane Green at the deadline. And then he came in tonight and was the one that preserved it and pushed it to extra innings for the Braves.
Yeah, he did. He did a good job. I know whenever Acuna got that hit right off the bat off Martinez, I thought it was over right there. I was like, oh shit, we're going to smack him again.
Yep, I did too.
But yeah, I don't know why Green only pitched the one inning. I don't know why, as good as he did, why they didn't just let him finish it off. At least go a few more innings. Like I said, I don't know baseball like that. When I pitched until I couldn't throw a strike. Basically, we didn't have no closer, no relievers, nothing like that. But he does so good in one inning. Why can't he play it? Why can't he continue on? I don't get that. But
the problem with that is they don't have the stuff. They don't have the pitch variations and the different quality major league level pitches. They might have one or two. And then after the guys see it, they can start to, guess which one's coming, and then they start to give up more and more hits. That's why they only leave them in for one inning, one set of batters, and then we're switching it up so that they can't get a good read on what's coming.
Yeah, that makes sense. Same thing for closers. Closers usually throw very hard. Like Jordan Hicks, for example, he throws a lightning fast fastball and he throws a slider, but that's it.
Fastball, sliders, change-ups.
Yeah. So it's hard to pitch at the end of the game, and hard to get runs off of him. But if he's staying in there next time around, you can bet on what he's going to pitch. So that makes sense.
Yeah. So, this is the best series in my opinion. We were talking about it before we came on, and the other series that are going on right now are kind of lopsided. This one's tied at 2. It was tied at 1. It's been a battle back and forth the entire time. The Dodgers, they should wrap their series up tonight. I believe they were up 1-0 when we came on.
Yeah.
The Astros lost today to the Rays like 10-3. They got blown out pretty bad. They got to Greinke.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one of the big things that we talked about, several times, is that combo of 3 pitchers is going to be tough to beat. They at least knocked one out, but I'm pretty sure that just means Verlander gets the ball in game 4.
Right.
So it's hard to beat Verlander, and then Cole would be game 5 if it came to that. So good luck, Rays, but that series is pretty much over before it even gets started. Yeah. And the Yankees up 2-0. They play tonight, the late game. They should finish out the sweep. The Twins just don't have the arms to hang with the Yankees bullpen.
Right.
So Twins, if their only hope is to jump the Yankees early. And that hasn't happened yet. So, and Severino's going tonight. He's not played much all season. He's healthy. He's well rested. I see a Yankees sweep tonight.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that the Yankees have come this far with all of the injuries that they sustained way earlier in the season.
Well, you think Judge was on the shelf for a good majority of the season. Stanton has missed almost the entire season until the last month or so. Severino was out, Torres was out, Andujar was out, and they just next guy up. It has been impressive, and everything that I thought was going to happen with the Yankees this year didn't. So I don't know what to say. I thought when they got these star players back to their lineups that it would start to fall apart because they would lose that momentum and that chemistry, but that hasn't happened. I didn't think Luke Voit would be able to continue his home run pace from last year. You know, he came from the Cardinals. He didn't do shit when he was in St. Louis.
Strange.
He went to New York, and all of a sudden he's just banging out homers left and right. You know, I posted in Sportszilla whenever Pete Alonso broke Aaron Judge's record, you know, what are they putting in the water in New York? No shit. Luke Voit, hello. But, I mean, that series should be over. So I see the ALCS matchup of the Astros and the Yankees lining up perfectly. And I see the Dodgers just breezing through the Nationals. I think it would have been a much better series if it was the Brewers. And then that leaves you two knuckleheads in your pizza bet.
Yep.
Game 5 Wednesday.
It's anybody's game at this point. We've both won at home and away, obviously. It all comes down to me to the bullpen. Can the bullpen hold on? Can the bullpen finish out the game? And if they can't, then we lose. And if they can, then maybe we have a chance.
Well, Schilt made a pretty interesting move at the end of the game tonight when he put Michaelis in to shore up the 10th inning. That means he won't be starting on Wednesday for Game 5.
Right.
Who do you give the ball to?
That was going to be Jack Flaherty anyway, I think.
Okay. That was Flaherty's game regardless.
And that's why Jack started Game 2, and that's why Michaelis started Game 1 over Flaherty, so that Flaherty could pitch in a potential Game 5.
Gotcha. Well, that layout was came to fruition. Mm-hmm. It just sucks that Flaherty didn't get the win whenever he was scheduled to, but Michaelis delivered.
Same thing with Adam Wainwright. He pitched so well, and they couldn't win it for him.
Wow, he did spin a gem in Game 3. What was it, 7 innings?
Yes.
That's impressive for an old timer.
I know, and he was throwing strikes. He was getting strikeouts. I was very happy with it, and I told you, I was like, he's got that experience of being in the postseason and pitching in important games, and it really did help him out. But it all comes down to, can you finish, you know?
Yeah, I like us being at home. It gives me a little bit of relief. I know it's a lot harder to win on the road. There'll be a lot of tomahawks in that stadium that day.
Yeah. The Brave Stadium got very loud.
Do you know who gets the ball for the Braves, Justin?
No clue.
Okay.
I don't know if they've said or not.
I would assume it was the same guy that pitched Game 2 against Flaherty, so maybe we get a repeat of that performance.
Yeah, I think it's like a 2-3 hit game.
Yeah, that kid was lights out, and I'd never heard of him. The announcers on that game were saying that that game was his best game ever.
Yeah, what is it, Mike Fultonevich?
Yeah.
Big red beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's a flamethrower. Can get wild.
Yeah.
So.
It's the beard.
Yeah, Craig Kimbrell, same way. Big beard gets wild.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mentioned subtly that I think that the Dodgers series would be much better if the Brewers were in there instead of the Nationals. Of course, the wild card game between the Brewers and Nationals didn't end, but was essentially won by the Nationals on the strength of an error. The right fielder completely whiffed on a playable ball. It bounced on the turf. His glove went over the ball. He whiffed. 3 runs scored on that play. You got to say, if Christian Yelich was in that position, he makes that play, at least holds it to a 2-run scoring to where it's a tie ball game instead of allowing them to take the lead. I think the Christian Yelich factor propels the Brewers over the Nationals and makes a much better series against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And speaking of, not to go back to the Braves, but when Acuna hit that one in the 9th inning in the left field where the dude slid, if it would have hit that guy's glove and not bounced over the fence, he would have got a triple, if not possibly scored right there.
Yep.
That was actually a good. That's probably the best play of the game, was him missing that ball.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
It happens like that sometimes, where the best thing that happens is nothing happening at all.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you make a good point about Christian Yelich. I wonder if, and I don't know who replaced him in the outfield, but I wonder if that guy had a little bit of rust, because I mean, if you're an outfielder and that lineup is essentially set, you've got Lorenzo Cain in center, and you've got Yelich, and I'm not sure who their left fielder is, but
Mauer, I think.
Okay. But, you're not really looking to, maybe I can get in there if one of these guys starts slipping. That's not really going through your head. So I wonder if he got put in the starting position and was just like, oh, shit, and just wasn't ready for it.
I mean,
possibility.
That's what I'm saying. Christian Yelich impact.
Yeah.
And you were going into the game being like, see, look, they made it here without Yelich. I don't think they need Yelich, trying to knock his MVP candidacy a little bit or whatever. But imagine if you add Yelich production at the plate and his defense to the Brewers lineup throughout that hot streak. And then we're talking they win the division and the Cardinals are in the wild card game.
Right. If the Brewers would have won that wild card game, I think my take would have had more weight. But since they didn't, on a play that was in right field, it kind of negates what I was saying.
Right. It really, really cripples it at least. So I'm glad we addressed that, because I saw it whenever I was posting that I didn't think that what you were saying was all the way there, but
it was a bit of a take.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hot take, and I didn't want to go on full on blast you in a comment section and be like, "Nah, dude, you're an idiot." But I saw the writing on the wall.
Right.
So Week 5 NFL just happened, and we have quite a bit to talk about. But first, let me enjoy a swig of this delicious beverage.
I'm jealous, man. Ever since that kidney stone, I haven't had a doctor enough since.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man, they're still just as good.
That's my drink, man. That's the reason the doctor thinks that I had that, was because of all the Dr. Enough. And
oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about living so far away. You don't get the opportunity to drink it all the time, so you can't overindulge.
Yeah, it becomes a treat instead of just a daily thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll abuse the hell out of Dr. Enough whenever I come to Johnson City and I'm there and I can just go to the store and get it from Walmart while I'm standing in line or whatever. But when I'm in Florida, I can't get them that easily, and the ones at Cracker Barrel suck. So,
what's strange is how hard to find it is within Tennessee. I've been to Pigeon Forge several times, and you have to hunt for it there. And I thought it's like, oh, this is a Tennessee soda, so it should be everywhere. But I had to hunt for it.
It's
the place
Tennessee soda.
It's like where I live, but there is one place that sells the real ones there. That is, it's a bookstore across the street from Walgreens. Like if you're going to Dollywood, it's got a moon pie and bookstore or some shit.
Oh,
they
nice.
sell the real thing.
I found it at a Food Lion in Gatlinburg.
Oh yeah, you can get them there too. And by the way, let me tell you how mad I am with this. Okay, Zach comes all the way into my fucking backyard and literally don't call nobody to come like have a drink or just for like say what's up or anything.
I do feel bad about that.
I mean, I could have literally just came up and said what's up. You know, it's
Right.
like an hour and a half tops.
Right. Yeah, that's my bad, homie.
I saw
Yeah.
those pictures. And I was like, what the hell?
Motherfucker.
Man, but he was out with his wife. You know, he was having his sexy voice time.
I could have brought my wife. They could have read a book or something while me and him went out and drink some beers.
I'm sure that's what women do whenever men leave. They just open up the books and,
Oh, they could have went shopping. Hell, I'd have gave my credit card away for a little bit.
well, especially in Gatlinburg, they have those outlet stores and all that shit.
And that's where we went this last weekend. And I want to give a shout out before we get into football. My best friend, Coach Roy King, he got robbed in Charlotte. It was complete robbery, but they turned around and gave him a title fight anyway because they knew what happened. So he fought in Delaware this past Saturday for the USNBC Silver Super Middleweight WBC title belt, which WBC is the real deal. And he beat the shit out of this kid. So he now has the WBC title belt, and his next fight will be, I think they got him ranked down in the 30s maybe. But the title belt's his, so he should be getting a big fight coming up. Not to mention this man is 43 years old. Didn't start boxing until he was like 30. So
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
he's built like a freak, dude. He's like a brick shit house, like disgusting, like abs on top of abs on top of abs. And I'm 37 and I walk in there and almost need a damn cane to get through the door. But he's in New York right now celebrating. I just thought I wanted to shoot that out because he listens to the podcast. So congrats, Troy.
Oh, congratulations and thanks for listening.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Love to have him on and talk about it sometime. This sounds like an awesome story.
Anytime, man. Anytime. He's got the Tennessee belt and now he's got a WBC title belt. So
That's awesome. Anytime you can get recognition on a national stage, that's badass.
we have two fighters now. We have one fighter that's the 13th ranked welterweight in the world, and now him inside the top 50 at our little gym in Johnson City.
That's really fucking badass.
Yeah.
And your little monster trains with him, and he's just gonna come out bigger and better than everybody.
I hope so. Right now, he's kind of getting lazy on me. He's getting old.
Uh-oh.
He's getting attitude.
Uh-oh.
How old is he?
10.
Okay, I was gonna say if he's getting close to teenage years, that would explain it. But I feel like 10 is a little young.
He's just a little smart ass. He's been there so long that he don't think he should have to do shit that the other kids do, and vice versa.
He's starting to feel like I'm an old vet. I'm hard around here. I've got belts and shit, Dad. Why am I doing this bullshit stuff?
Yeah, that's basically it. Like today, I had where Roy's in New York, and Coach Brad don't get there till after 5. I was the coach today, and of course, everything I told him to do, he's like, like, why we gotta do this, that kind of shit. I'm like, look, I mean, he's pissing me off, but
Yeah, I
a
mean,
little smart ass. I love him.
hey Trenton, you need to understand the difference between dad and coach.
That's right.
Two different people, buddy.
Yeah. And he's like,
Dad'll get in your ass.
he said, why are we doing
Coach
football?
will set your ass on fire.
He said, why are we doing football drills, Dad? I said, 'cause that's what I know, son.
Conditioning is conditioning, right?
That's right. Because I had him doing mountain climbers and all this shit that I had him doing football. And I said, hey, it's you're working out, and everybody's sitting there huffing and puffing, couldn't get up. I said, look at everybody, they exhausted, ain't they?
Mm-hmm.
They're working out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good to switch up your cardio routines and stuff like that anyway.
Absolutely.
Do the same thing over and over again. Eventually, it's not hard. You're not working out. You're not getting better.
Yep. You don't push yourself because you can just go through the motions.
I had him doing a round on the bag, and then I had him doing 20 up downs, and then I had him do another round on the bag and do a minute worth of mountain climbers and another round on the bag, and basically I switched it up in between. But I like to watch them all. You know, being a fat guy, I just like watching them all suffer. When I see that last kid not wanting to get up, now I know I've done enough.
See, people like that, people that just want to see people suffer. That's the reason that Perfect is suspended. He wanted to see people suffer by delivering illegal hits. And now he's not playing football, and he's just going to be watching on TV for the rest of the season.
True.
And he should, because he's a fucking prick.
Yeah, he is.
You know, they say that they went back and reviewed footage of other games and found more illegal hits that weren't called and weren't noticed that he's delivered throughout the season and his career.
Yeah. What he don't understand is when you're in middle school and high school, you try to make those big plays because you want to be noticed. But now, where he's at, he can fucking kill somebody. And I don't know, man. He don't deserve to be in the game, to be honest.
Right. I think a lot of quote unquote dirty hits that are called or whatever in the NFL are just accidents.
Yeah, if they're running full speed, they're going at it and accidentally collide. That's one thing, but his shit is like it's targeted.
Right. He's intended to. He's throwing up an elbow to try to make extra contact with something.
Yeah.
He's trying to hurt people. And I don't think there is a place for people like that in the league.
Maybe the XFL.
No. Vince wants to make the XFL clean. He wants to make it the PG football league.
It ain't gonna work, man. They tried that shit with that other league.
Well, the AAF was a totally different thing. The AAF wanted to be the minor league of the NFL, and that didn't work. Vince is trying to be an actual competitor and go to all the, I don't know what you call them, the goody two shoes type people that want all the players to stand for the flag and this, that, and the other, and do all that stuff. He's trying to gain all those fans.
You know what would work? Have y'all ever seen Ice Cube's league, the Big Three?
Mm-hmm.
If they would do like XFL would do like 7-on-7,
that'd be intense.
That would be because high schools do that now, and it's fucking fun to watch. I mean,
isn't that kind of like arena football?
I think arena football is a full squad, is it not?
No, it's 7-on-7, but they also have rules where the running back or the wide receiver can run, get a 10-yard head start, and all this stupid shit. But if you did straight up on the line, 7-on-7, had 3 linemen, 3 receivers, quarterback, that shit would be fun to watch, man. I'd enjoy that. It's different too.
Yeah. Yeah. If you ever see that 3-on-3 basketball league on one of the weird ESPN channels, tune in. It's actually really entertaining.
It's got like all the legends, dude. Like all like the best of the best, like White Chocolate and Dennis Rodman and just anybody you can think of. It used to be good plays in. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Kind of just like a pickup game style.
Yeah, Iverson's one of the coaches, and then you got James Worthy's a coach.
Oh, that's cool.
And Lisa Leslie's a coach. Remember Lisa Leslie?
Mm-hmm.
She's a coach. I mean, so they've got like it's all legit coaches and players, and it's like you remember Oakley? What's his name?
Charles?
Yeah, Charles Oakley. He helps down there coaching. Like I said, Iverson's played. Black Chocolate. White Chocolate plays.
That's Jason Williams for those of you that don't know.
Nate Robinson's in it.
Oh wow!
So basically, like all these stars.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Nate played for the Celtics for a few years. He's played for about everybody for a few years, but
he was MVP last year
of the 3-on-3 league.
I was like, what?
I was like, no, he wasn't.
of the big three, he was. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to get back into football. You derailed me with your 3-on-3, Justin.
I said that for the XFL for the 7-on-7.
Oh, that's right. I don't think so. I think they're going to go full on 12 or 11 football or 11 players, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be real football, but I think it's going to try to be clean. I think they want to try to make it appeal to the PG crowd. They want to make it a family-friendly event that you can bring your kids to and shit like that.
Yep.
Just like they do with WWE.
Yeah, they flipped the script. Did you see that SmackDown is now on Fox?
Is it? I didn't know that.
At least for this last week, I saw advertisements for it.
I wonder what network deals the XFL has worked out. It'd be interesting if they're also with Fox.
Right. That's what I said about the AAF. if they can get on a channel that everyone has access to, then people will watch. I think we all watched at least that first game, and it was entertaining. And then I guess they ran out of money or whatever, and I didn't ever see it on TV again, so I just didn't care about it.
Yeah, they're done.
The AAF fucked up from the get-go because they tried to launch too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They heard XFL was launching in 2 years, and they're like, well, let's do it in a year and steal all their fans and steal all the players, and we'll have everything better. But they didn't line anything up. They didn't take care of their financials.
Yep.
And it all came crumbling down.
Yeah. If you're going to try to take on the monster that is the NFL, you better come ready, because they've had a stranglehold on national football on the professional level since their start, you know?
Yep, for 100 years now. They wear it on their sleeves every week to brag about it.
Yep. To get back to NFL, Chiefs, they shit the bed this week against the Colts.
Yeah, Colts are good, dude.
Yeah, Colts are good. Chiefs ain't all that, though.
I wouldn't say that the Colts defense is good enough to beat the Chiefs, but lo and behold, they are.
Chiefs are still, what, 4-1?
4-1.
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Wonder Boy Patrick Mahomes has 1 touchdown in the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you wouldn't know it because everywhere you look, Patrick Mahomes is being touted as the greatest ever.
Yeah. Marketing.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a pretty boy, man.
Fucking, it's ridiculous, man. You can see exactly what they're doing. He's not, like, he's good, but he's not that good.
Yeah.
But they're making you think that he's that much better by overhyping all of the good plays that he has.
Right.
I can't wait for a no-look pick six.
Last year, he set the world on fire because no one knew who he was, and he was winning games and doing no-look passes and stuff. And then this year, like you said, it's all hype, and they're putting his name on everything. And he was doing well. He's still not doing like bad, but I think the more he does the same old stuff, the more the defenses are just going to be like, all right, well, we're ready for it. We've seen it. So I wonder if it's going to be the start of the sophomore slump that I have predicted.
Yep. NFL defensive coordinators, defensive coaches are smart. They don't get these jobs for a reason. Every now and then offenses change, so the defensive coordinators have to adjust accordingly. That's what they're doing to Mahomes. They're adjusting to his crazy little antics and stuff like that. He's human, especially now that Hill's been injured. Sammy Watkins got injured. It's really showing that he's not all that, but his receiving core is pretty damn good at least getting open.
Right. And he had an amazing running back last year.
Yeah. Now it's showing that he's not the one that was carrying that team. It was all the other weapons that they had.
Yeah, he's became one-dimensional.
Yep, that's it. And when that happens, you suck.
Yeah, and he won't be able to be a mobile quarterback forever. He's young. He hasn't gotten hurt yet, so he can still do that kind of stuff. But
he's already been limping. He limped the last 2 weeks.
Oh, did he? Wow.
Yep. So ask the Washington Redskins about mobile quarterbacks, and then once they start limping around.
Did either of you guys watch the game?
He got fucking rocked, dude.
Did you watch the game, Justin?
I just saw him get rocked.
I didn't catch it either.
I didn't catch it either. I would like to know exactly what wasn't working for them, because that was a very low-scoring game, and I've never heard anyone talk decently about the Colts defense, at least this year.
Well, I mean, preseason the Colts were expected to be one of the good teams and even be a contender in the AFC. And then when Luck retired, everybody was like, well, there goes that, but they wouldn't be a contender and talked about so highly just because of Andrew Luck, if that makes sense.
Sure. They shut my Falcons down.
Right. Yeah, that's very strange. I guess they're underrated.
And granted, if you want me to go on a rant of the opposite of my Falcons, I can tell you about how shitty we are and what needs to be changed.
Please do, because
God almighty. Houston put up 53.
yeah, I know. That's what I was going to get to, is what the fuck. And Falcons fans and Texans fans were brawling in the stands.
Yeah.
There was a big 50-person brawl in the stadium. It was nuts. But I guess if my team was playing like that, I'd be pretty pissed too, especially if they were making fun of us and taunting us.
I can tell you what's wrong, man. Okay, when Dimitroff came along, when we drafted Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, which has been about 6, 7, 8 years ago, right? He was like in the front of everything. He was fucking spinning his wheels. He was making moves. When's the last time Atlanta's picked up a big free agent? Fucking never. Our defense has been terrible. Our defensive backfield has been terrible for 4 years. Okay, we looked decent when Keanu Neal was back there, and now that he's got hurt, we have no reserves. So we're just getting fucking eaten up. People are scoring 50 points on us. But I couldn't tell you the last time we picked up a big free agent for defense or offense. We pay our players, we stay the course, and the shit's not working. So Dimitroff needs to go immediately. He ain't done shit in years. And I love Dan Quinn. He needs to go back to being a defensive coordinator, and we need a fucking coach that can coach his team. And it's mainly our offensive coordinator. Since we got rid of dude that fucked up the Super Bowl. I can't think of who I'm thinking about. But since we got rid of him, man, and we got Sarkisian from Alabama, he didn't do shit. And now the person we got now ain't doing shit. We've got probably one of the most prolific offenses in the league, but you wouldn't know it.
No, you really wouldn't. I've noticed a lot of the struggles because I have Calvin Ridley on my fantasy team, and I see the scores every week under his, and I'm like, damn, the Falcons are losing again. Damn, the Falcons are losing again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Zach.
I've got the tight end Hooper and Mohamed Sanu, and Hooper's gone off, I think, a couple times, but yeah, it's always rough looking for the Falcons.
So, what do you do? If you could reverse time, is this something that you let Julio walk in an attempt to bring in other talent? You know, you said all we do is we re-sign our players and we stay the course. You just paid Julio $66 million, $22 million a year. That could have been broken up into 2 quality free agent signings.
Yeah, I don't think Julio's the problem. I think if we could have kept Tevin Coleman and let Devontae Freeman go, it would have saved us quite a bit of money. We got to remember we signed Devontae Freeman to a top 5 running back this year also. He ain't done shit.
Yeah, which is strange.
Tevin Coleman, man, was like lightning in a bottle, and we let his ass go for cheap. If we would have got rid of Freeman, kept Coleman, and then we've got a decent little backfield besides them, that's where I would have started. I don't think Julio's the problem. Julio's one of them players that you not only is he a great teammate, great captain, even if he's not catching balls, he's taking away coverage. You can't get rid of it.
Where
go people that help.
Justin is breaking up severely.
Yeah, we're having pretty bad technical difficulties on his end, I guess.
But he was talking about Devontae Freeman's deal, and yeah, it's huge. 5 years, $41 million, 15 guaranteed at signing, 22 million guaranteed, 50 million bonus at signing. Sorry. So that's
now
where does
Coleman play now?
What's his
San
first?
Francisco?
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Well, they play tonight, and they're going to lose against the Browns tonight. But I would say San Francisco probably has a better offensive line than Atlanta.
Yeah, they do. But Coleman's been hurt too.
Has he?
He's coming back tonight.
Okay. So we'll see what he does tonight. But I think the 49ers have a pretty good O-line. They've had a lot of early first round picks over the years, and they've been just stacking up, trying to beef it up for Garoppolo. That could be the big thing in Atlanta, is your O-line is just breaking down. not allowing Freeman to get off.
I think Brandon had a good point with Julio. Julio's a great receiver, obviously, but I think they might have overpaid him. I mean, if you're going to give one player that can do one thing that much money, fuck, he better be lights out every single game. And I think, in my opinion, a wide receiver can be shut down. They double team him. Good luck.
And think about how much money you're spending on 3 players on your offense. Zach told us the numbers for Freeman. We know the numbers for Julio, and Matt Ryan gets paid a buttload too.
Yep. Who else is going to get that money?
That's where your free agent spending has gone, is to those 3 players wanting to be highly paid players.
Yep. And that's a management problem. That's not the coach, even though the coach might be a shithead too, but that was a management.
Right. Who in their right mind is going to turn down that contract if the team offers it to you? Matt Ryan's like, fuck yeah, I'll take all that. Thank you. You know? He's not going to
he needs to go.
He's not going to be like, oh no, let's cut that in half so that you can give it to some other guy. No, he's like, fuck, I'll take all 30 million instead of, taking only 20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. If you look at the success of the Patriots, for example, I know we always suck the Patriots' dicks here, but not one player on that team makes a fuckload of money. So you can spread the load and spread the love and give an otherwise unknown offensive lineman a decent deal that he'll be happy with. You have money to play with. As soon as Aaron Rodgers got a gigantic deal, have they been back to the Super Bowl? Kirk Cousins makes $80 million and loses every week. Like, there's something to using a good majority of your cap space to one player. I think it's detrimental in a team sport, and with a salary cap. Like, baseball is a whole different thing.
It's true.
So, and the running back situation in the NFL is a strange one too, because I remember on one of the years that I won the fantasy championship, I had Devontae Freeman on my team, and he damn near gave me 30 points every game. And since then, he's never been drafted in the first round that I know of, and hasn't made any noise. And that happens with running back after running back after running back. Who drafted Eddie Lacy this year? It's just the cycle of running backs is so quick.
Yeah. And that's why it's so crazy that, Gurley and Zeke and all these guys and, Freeman, so much money for these guys that are relevant for such a short period of time.
Yep.
Whereas again, going back to the Patriots and the way that they do things, Sonny Michel, he's a rookie. James White gets paid next to nothing, was a Super Bowl MVP.
Right.
Rex Burkhead wouldn't be in the league if he didn't play for the Patriots.
100%.
Makes plays every fucking week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Easy
to see the fact that some no-name players can win the Super Bowl every year. Of course, yes, it's Tom Brady, and he's the majority of their wins, but he's had a rotating squad of people for the last 15 years or whatever that haven't been with him the whole time. So
I can just see the blood boiling in Justin's face because we're talking about the Patriots and how to structure a winning franchise. And he's like, I just wish the Falcons would do something.
I ain't got nothing to say, man. I mean,
it is frustrating.
I know when y'all are right.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing to say.
And the Patriots steamrolled another team this week. They steamrolled the Washington Redskins, and they promptly fired their coach 5:00 this morning, which we had known that was coming. The rumors were swirling last Thursday that they were going to fire him after the loss to the Patriots.
Yeah. So, that organization is all but failing. They tried to throw Haskins in there. He immediately threw a pick six, wasn't it? His first throw.
I'm not sure. I think you might be right. I know he didn't do well whenever they threw him in there because it was against the Giants, right?
Yeah, something
and the Giants just steamrolled them whenever they played.
And then this last week, they threw in Colt McCoy, who no one's talked about in 5 years. So they have nothing going.
Yeah, Dan O'Quinn will be fired if we lose one more.
Really? Ooh, that's bold.
He'll be fired. And you remember when we was talking about the Cowboys? What I tell y'all? I said they hadn't played nobody. Now they've got some decent competition. They're going to start losing. They haven't won since.
Yeah, you kind of called that, and America's team has kind of been quiet lately.
That happens every year, man.
Yep.
Your family are a bunch of Cowboys fans, right? You've been checking on them.
Everybody I know is Cowboys fans with me. And you guys. That's it.
Yeah, we don't like the Cowboys except for when we have them on fantasy.
Even my daughter wears Cowboy shit all the time.
Man. That's got to kind of sting a little bit, but oh well. Steelers cannot keep a quarterback.
They should have kept Dobbs.
Dobbs is the unluckiest man in the NFL right now.
Because he's behind Minshew.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. He started the season as a third string quarterback in Pittsburgh. Okay? If he would have stayed a third string quarterback in Pittsburgh, he would be playing this week. But he was traded to become a second string quarterback. Well, technically the third string quarterback in the Jaguars system to Minshew, who was replacing Nick Foles when he got injured. So a backup quarterback. Minshew mania took off like fucking wildfire, brother. And he's not going to see the field.
What a weird turn of events.
Poor Josh Dobbs.
I didn't see the hit on old Steelers quarterback. Pretty
Kyle, Mason Rudolph.
Mm-hmm. I heard it was a bad KO.
Well, he was being tackled from behind, and Earl Thomas was coming full speed from the front, and the top of his helmet went under the jaw and hit Rudolph, and he was out before he even hit the ground. His arms were like went limp, but then they stiffened up once he hit the ground, and he was just locked in a position.
He got starched.
Yeah, they said that he was awake and he was breathing, but he wasn't there. He was knocked silly.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that bullshit where they didn't come get him on the cart?
The cart broke.
He had to walk off with fucking help.
They could. It wasn't that they didn't want to or didn't try. They couldn't. He had to walk off because there was no other fucking way.
All that money that the NFL makes and this shit happens.
Look at that picture. They already took his face mask off, right? So I saw a meme that said he got hit so hard he just went back to the 1950s because it's just a shell.
Yeah, God, he did get rocked though. It was a hit, but it was like one of those hits that everybody's like, "Oh, it's a dirty hit" because it was a helmet to helmet. But it was accidental. It didn't even draw a flag on the play.
Right.
It should have. Let's be honest, it should have. But it wasn't a dirty hit. It wasn't a late hit. He didn't intentionally target his head, unlike that other asshole that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it sucks. The Steelers can't catch a break this year.
No.
Just like me in fantasy, man. God damn.
You had a terrible year in fantasy.
I can't catch a break either. Like, I've got Le'Veon Bell and James Conner as my two running backs. Both of my starting quarterbacks have been out. So that means a lot of the defensive attention is being drawn to my players. They haven't been able to get off like that. A lot of the other supporting players around my players have been scoring a lot of the touchdowns, getting a lot of the extra touches, scoring, getting all the yards and shit like that. It's bullshit, man.
Yeah, it's rough.
And I drafted running back heavy, so I don't really have good wide receivers. Oh well.
Yep.
That's the way fantasy works out sometimes.
Yep. Sure enough.
If I can make the playoffs, maybe I can make a run. Be a wild card team that go all the way.
Right.
That's all it takes.
And we talked about the hysteria for the Cowboy fans. I think the Rams should also start worrying a little bit. That's 2 straight that they've dropped when they lost to the Seahawks this week. They got blown up by the Buccaneers, and then they got beat by the Seahawks.
What a crazy team to allow to beat up on you.
That's the game where Mike Evans went off.
Right.
And here again, we're talking about guys that are paid a lot of money. Jared Goff got a huge extension. Todd Gurley got paid. Brandon Cooks got paid. They're not doing shit.
Yep.
Aaron Donald on defense, one of the highest paid defenders. You're spending so much money on so few players. You're not spreading it out. You've got bullshit everywhere else.
Donald deserves it.
Yeah.
That I might agree with.
Yeah.
Defense is where I want to spend my money if I'm a GM.
Yeah.
Donald and Mack, the 2 that deserve every penny, and Jarrett for the Falcons.
Right. I was just going to say that. I'd say Donald and Khalil Mack are the defensive players that I would pay good money for.
I would pay for good corners, too. I would pay for a Jalen Ramsey. I would pay for a Stephon Gilmore. Hell, it looks like we need to all pay a lot of money for Devin McCourty. I'm not sure if he got a pick against the Redskins, but he was on a streak of 4 straight games with interceptions.
Oh, damn.
That's a ball hawk. You want somebody like that in your secondary.
Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, there are a few defensive players that I would shell up the money for. Very few offensive players that I would pony up that kind of money.
Yep. You mentioned Jalen Ramsey. What do you think is going to happen with him?
All sources indicate that he's staying in Jacksonville. I did see that a photo leaked online. I don't know when the photo was taken. Reportedly, it was sometime this weekend at a college football game or whatever. But Jalen Ramsey was hanging out with Deshaun Watson.
Oh, wow.
Read into it what you will. I don't know.
But that's the last I had heard as well, is that he obviously requested a trade. Jags weren't hearing it. And then he said something about he needs some time off for the birth of his baby. And then I guess he said that his back hurt or whatever, and he would show up whenever he felt ready or something like that.
Well, the back thing actually was mentioned before the birth of his baby.
Oh, okay.
He was sitting out from practice with a sore back, and then the next day went on paternity leave. And then when he came back, he was still having issues with his back.
Gotcha.
So it was just, there was a lot that happened in that whole little 2-week span or whatnot. But all sources indicate that he's staying in Jacksonville. And what that tells me or makes me think is that it's an internal power struggle with the Jags. I think that by keeping Ramsey, the owner, Shad Khan, is more siding with the players than he is with his management staff. And I look for Doug Marrone and Tom Coughlin to kind of be sitting on a hot seat for the remainder of this season. The only thing saving that season right now is Gardner Minshew. Without him, this season is in the toilet, and we're probably talking about Doug Marrone being fired along with Jay Gruden.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think he'll be traded at the end of the year?
I don't. I think the coaches will get fired or whatever, and that's where Ramsey's beef lies.
Interesting.
It seems like something else is going on. Why else would it would be? They've been offered a lot for this guy, and they're just like, nah, we're good.
Right.
Nah, that's not enough. We want a little bit more. They've been offered 2 first-round picks and a 5th-round pick and stuff, like crazy offers.
Mhm.
And they're just like, nah, we're good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him. I would definitely want to keep Ramsey around. Like you said, he's top 5 defensive player for sure. So he's one of their only notable players right now at the moment.
Right. And I mean, the same thing's going on in Minnesota. I've been calling it the Minnesota meltdown because it seems like that entire team is just hating life. You got Diggs and Adam Thielen both seemingly want out. They both seemingly hate playing with Kirk Cousins because he sucks.
Who wouldn't?
So and Diggs has been very open about wanting a trade, seeking a trade. Oof.
Forget Diggs. Thielen's a monster.
Thielen's a monster, but I think if Diggs could get away from Cousins, I think he would do a lot better than he's doing now.
Oh, yeah.
But, shoo, that team sucks. And it's because, once again, this is the theme of the night, they spent too much on Cousins. They went out and gave him ridiculous sums of money to come and throw interceptions.
And it's not like he even did anything. Like he was with the Redskins and he won a few games.
He did decent with the Redskins, and that merited
Yeah.
$84 million contract.
And he got a gigantic contract. It's like, who thought that was a good idea? I don't get that at all. And I think everybody that pays attention to football thinks that. Kirk Cousins has never proven that he is a elite quarterback. He's not even average at this point.
He had like 4 good games. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the Jags going after Nick Foles. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So that makes sense. But for somebody to go after Kirk Cousins and those kind of players doesn't make any sense.
Well, and the Jags paid about $33 million less for Nick Foles than the Vikings did for Kirk Cousins. That's significant whenever you talk about this as well.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. That's strange. I don't want to move on too quickly, but if we're done with NFL, we do have a big UFC fight that went down this weekend.
Oh yeah, we have what's the word I'm looking for? No, I want to say unanimous, but that's not what I'm looking for. Undisputed. That's the one. Undisputed champion.
Yep.
Israel Adesanya.
Yep. I can't remember what UFC number it was, but it was one for the ages.
245, I think.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
Somewhere in there. Whatever.
I thought Whitaker would knock him out, honestly.
You know, I think a lot of people, myself included, thought that Whitaker was going to be too big of an opponent and too strong of an opponent for Stylebender. But then Stylebender shut everyone up because he knocked out Whitaker.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yep. MMA math does not work.
Kid's got power, man, and he showed it. And now, who's going to doubt him now? He's at that point. He's at that point in his career now.
He's fun to watch, man.
So fun.
I know he gets the comparisons all the time, but it's just like watching a young Anderson Silva. When he was on the rise, it was the same thing. It's like, this dude is phenomenal. He's so fun. A young John Jones on the rise. He was so fun to watch because it was a little bit different, a little unorthodox, but highly effective.
That's who I was going to say. I remember watching John Jones on the undercard, and he got an elbow knockout where he did that spinning back elbow. And I told somebody, I was like, this guy here's going to be a champion one day. And then he never lost since. But I remember thinking, man, he was jumping off the cage, doing all kinds of just off the wall stuff. Makes it interesting. I think Stylebender is going to be the next McGregor without the bad attitude.
I hope the meteoric rise kind of put the face of the franchise on him.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it. He's already got the cool nickname. He needs to tone down the middle fingers after he wins fights if he's going to be the face of the company, though. Who does he think he is? Nate Diaz?
Yeah.
Did you guys happen to see his walkout?
With the little tribal dance thing or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's pretty
It
interesting.
was pretty neat, pretty cool. A+ for creativity.
Yeah,
You got to do something to make yourself, be memorable. Just like how Adam Townsend drinks a beer and flexes during the weigh-ins. And the way he lost that fight in Russia.
Did he?
I mean,
I was about to ask about it when you brought him up.
he was sick as a dog. He pressed the whole fight, but you could just tell like he wasn't normal. Like he couldn't do what he normally does. He still came home with, probably like 20, 25 grand. He still, he still got his payday. So, and he's got another fight coming up. So even with that,
He's still going to be all right. Still kind of get back into the swing of things once he gets back home.
yeah.
What else was on that card, Zach? Did you catch any more of it?
If there was anything else, I haven't heard much about it. Obviously the main thing was Whitaker and Adesanya. But yeah, I didn't hear anything else or anyone talk about anything else. So I'm just going to assume that there was nothing else going on. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It was 243, so I was off by a little bit, but of course we talked about Stylebender and Whitaker. Dan Hooker beat Al Iaquinta. Decision round 3. Yeah, so a decision. Sergey Spivak won by a submission over Tai Toivasa. I don't know. I'm going to stop because I can't pronounce any names this low on the card. Oh, and Holly Holm was supposed to be on there fighting Raquel Pennington, but it got canceled.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, so that kind of tarnished that. I thought I remembered locker room talk saying that it was supposed to be a good card, but then I started reading it. I was like, that doesn't look good. But yeah, Holly was on there. That was what was supposed to make it better. So I wonder what happened for that fight not to go down. I'm sure they talked about it on Locker Room Talk this week.
I follow Holly on Instagram, and all I know is that she got hurt. Yeah, I don't know any more detail.
Okay, so I'll have to go and listen to Locker Room Talk. I haven't done that yet this week, so
yeah, I'm sure they'll discuss it.
I'm sure they do. They cover MMA a lot better than we do.
Yeah, for sure. We satiate the casual fans' interest, and that's about it.
Yeah, for sure. Go
ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna.
What do you think is next for Stylebender? Maybe Yoel Romero or any other middleweight contender?
I mean, that's what it looked like. He kind of looked like he was calling him out after the fight, like, "Hey, yeah, you come on, bring it." So, if he's I don't know where Yoel ranks, but if he's one of the top contenders, I don't see why not.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the best thing that Adesanya can do right now is just stay active, stay relevant, and he'll become a superstar in no time. Because for a long time now, Robert Whitaker has been the guy at middleweight, and we're having a little bit of a change of the guard here, I think. And you see this every couple of years. There's a guy who dominates, and then there's just some young kid who comes out of nowhere and lights the world on fire.
Yep. It's fun. And it's cool when you get to see these guys on the come up. Yeah. Another one of those guys that has that potential, I'm not saying he's going to ever reach that, is Johnny Walker.
Yeah, 100%.
That guy has star written all over him if he can just keep himself from himself.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to fight before the year's over.
If I'm not mistaken, he's on the Banff card with the Nate and Masvidal fight.
Oh yeah, that's the perfect card for him to be on.
Good exposure because a lot of people are going to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Got any last minute predictions before Monday Night Football?
I hope the Browns win. I think it's going to be a tough game. Because like you said, this year, the 49ers haven't been anything to scoff at.
Yeah, but I think their undefeated streak ends tonight, and then we go into next week with the Patriots being the only undefeated left.
And you'll just eat that up, won't you?
I mean, it'll be nice.
It'll soothe your wounds of not having Red Sox playoff baseball.
Yes, that is true because I'm missing that.
Yeah, that's got to be rough.
Like I was watching the Braves Cardinals game before we came on, and it's exciting. I still got really excited with the walk off and how it all ends and stuff like that. It's walk off sack fly. You can only get so excited for, but
sure.
But man, it's nothing like watching your team, especially if you've been vested all summer long. That's the payoff that you want as a fan,
Absolutely. You're sitting through a Saturday day baseball game in the middle of June, and you're rooting for your guys because they're playing whoever they're playing. And then once October comes, if they can pull it off, then it's much
sweet.
We always talk about this. The majority of people that we know tune into baseball only for the playoffs, and I think they're missing out on so much because I love baseball because it's something that I can watch damn near every day during the season, and I love just tuning in. And if it's a boring game, I can be on my phone and I can do whatever I want. And if it's a great game, I have a great game to watch.
Right.
NFL only plays 3 times a week if you count Thursday night football. And the bulk of it is obviously on Sundays. But with baseball, you've got a game damn near every day. And you for sure have a game every day if you're willing to watch someone other than your team.
Right. I was going to say just that, in NFL, you only get really Sunday is your best chance to see your team, but you don't always even get that unless you live in their local market.
Yeah.
Like I'm in Florida. It's rare that I get to see a Patriots game if I don't have the NFL Sunday ticket or whatever. They don't broadcast that shit on just local cable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You get regional games.
Right. I get the Jags, I get the Bucks, I get the Dolphins.
Yep. I've watched
if they're not playing, I get the Falcons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've watched every Chiefs game and then whatever else they're going to throw on.
Yep, that's the way it works.
I think NFL Sunday Ticket, I don't know if they still have a deal with DirecTV, but I think they need to think about breaking that and go the route of MLB TV and just make it to where you can pay for a subscription on just the app and you don't need DirecTV or anything.
The thing that sucks about the NFL Sunday Ticket or whatever is it's so fucking expensive.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's a couple $100.
Yep.
And if you watch every game of your team, you're watching 16 games. So you're paying several $100s for 16 games. Because the Sunday Ticket's not going to count the playoffs or anything like that. That's on your regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
So boom, that's done. 16 games for a couple $100. MLB TV is $100 for 162 games.
Yep. Plus every other game.
Yeah, you can watch every game from every team. It's ridiculous that NFL doesn't do stuff like that.
I know. They just make so much goddamn money that they don't care.
And that's why I think the XFL will do like a streaming service, because they already know the success of streaming services from the WWE network.
Right.
I think they'll realize that as an advantage so that you can watch every XFL game and not just the ones that are in your market.
I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but in the boxing and MMA world, they have a company called DAZN.
Yeah.
And DAZN streams all that, and it's literally like $10 a month or something crazy. It's very small. And you get to watch all the MMA, like Ryan Garcia fights all the time on DAZN. And I would be happy with just the NFL Red Zone if you could just get just that channel.
Yeah, same. I'd love NFL Red Zone, and my AT&T Uverse doesn't have it, and I'm sure you have YouTube TV still, Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think NFL Red Zone is very selective on what providers that they have their channel on, which sucks. Because that's an awesome channel. It basically just shows all of the highlights through every game.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime a team gets in the red zone,
Yep.
it flashes to that game so you can see if they score or not.
And
It's
that's
really
best for
good.
fantasy.
I was about to say just that. It's really good if you're a fantasy football player because you see your guys scoring all the time, or you see your opponents scoring against you, and you throw your beer at your TV and hate your life. Either way, it's great.
Right.
Yeah, I'd pay $10 for just that one channel.
I would
Sure.
too. Yeah,
Sure.
100%.
Or just go to Reddit.
Yeah, or just illegally stream it. That's the time and that's the time that we're in right now. Is it's so easy to stream stuff, and it's so expensive to actually buy stuff that kids are not buying stuff. Same with the UFC pay-per-views. Now you can't even just buy a pay-per-view; you have to have ESPN Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So kids are streaming stuff, and it's way easier to illegally do it versus pay somebody how much ever a month to watch their stuff. And I think that's kind of stupid.
Yep. That's why I said that kind of tongue in cheek. You could always go to Reddit and just find the stream and watch it illegally because they make it so fucking difficult to watch it legally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who wants to run around and jump through hoops when you could click a goddamn link and it just pops up and it's good to go? Fuck them.
If you ask me, if they were to charge say $5 for a stream, they would make so much more damn money than if they charged $200 because everybody would be buying it, and it would just make sense. It would help the people, and then they would make more money.
Right. You can rationalize. All right. Yeah, I can spend $5 to watch this.
Yeah.
It's harder to justify coming off with 200 just off top,
Yep.
And that's for anybody. I don't care who you are. Money spends the same no matter how much you have or whatever. $5 is $5. If you can come off for a pack of smokes, you could come off at $5 to watch a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the cable companies. I'm assuming in the case of NFL Red Zone, they signed a huge deal with whatever cable company, and they're in a contract for several years with that cable company, and they're just locked up. And in today's day and age, I would say that most NFL fans have cable because that's the easiest way to watch it. But for those who don't have cable, how easy would it be to gain those people and watch NFL by having some sort of subscription service? So it'll probably become in 5 to 10 years or something like that. But I think the cable companies still have a little bit of a stranglehold on that kind of stuff.
Yep, I agree.
YouTube TV is the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Hands down.
We had it for a while, but it didn't have a lot of the channels that my wife likes, so we got rid of it. But for me, it was amazing. It had a shit ton of sports channels and everything that I needed, and I loved it.
Check back, they've added about 25 channels over the last 3 months.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So some of those channels they didn't previously have, and my wife was the same way. She likes Hallmark movies and all that shit. They've added a good majority of that. So they got like all the travel channels, all the food channels now, all that shit's there now.
Nice.
And it's still just $40 a month.
Yep.
Speaking of streaming and all that stuff, we've got lined up a video game streamer to come on and talk to us about that pretty soon. It's a guy that I actually went to high school with, bumped into him on the internet, and fucking he's got his whole video game streaming set up. He does it every night at 9:00 or whatever, and he plays old school video games.
Oh,
and people just tune in and watch them. And he has sponsors and all kinds of crazy stuff that pay him to play video games. Pay him to sit there and play video games and stream it so that other people can watch. It's just like the guys on Twitch and all that stuff, except he does it through Facebook Live.
Yeah, that's really cool.
You know who else does that? Adam Townsend does that too. So if you get him on, you can talk MMA and streaming. He does Fortnite every night.
That's true too. Yeah, I've seen some of his. The other guy that we're gonna have on, I want to give him a shout out. Growing Up 8-Bit is his Facebook name. It's a dude named Ian. He's a cool guy. Like I said, I went to high school with him and stuff, so I know him personally. Haven't talked to him. I graduated in 2003. Haven't talked to him since then. So just happened to run across him, and it's like, holy shit, dude, you're doing well for yourself. And he agreed to come on, so we're gonna have him on hopefully within the next week or so, and have a good video game episode for our nerd fans.
Yeah, when you say 8-bit, does he play like Mario, Donkey Kong?
That's what I'm saying. He plays all the old school stuff. Yeah. He sent me a message earlier and said that tonight's game that he's playing. So if you happen to listen to this podcast immediately after it drops, he's playing Final Fantasy VII tonight.
Oh shit!
Which happens to be my favorite video game of all time.
Yes, it is. I think the last time I tuned in, and I don't remember what day this was, but he was playing one of the old Pokemon games.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I saw him playing something else that he was playing that I never even knew was a game. I had played the first one, and he was playing part 2 of it, and I was like, oh damn! But he plays some cool old shit.
Yeah, so, awesome.
Yeah, you'll have to find it, give it a like, and watch some of the games that he plays.
Okay, what is it? I'm trying to give it a like right now.
Growing Up 8-Bit.
Growing Up 8-Bit.
The 8 is a number 8 and not spelled out. But yeah.
I can. Yeah. You found it?
Yeah, I'm going to like it right now.
Yeah. Cool deal. Yeah, we're going to have him on. I'm super excited to talk to him about it.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that one.
But other than that, I'm out of shit to talk about, fellas. I think it was a good episode. You guys got anything else to say?
I'm good.
I just want to apologize. I had some difficulties there. My router's about to kick the bucket. I'm going to have to go get a new one, I guess, but I apologize.
It's always something with Justin. I was beginning to think that it was just his electronics or whatever, but I think it's like the Tennessee internet. Tennessee Wi-Fi just isn't up to snuff.
That's these mountains, son.
They interfere. Yeah, man. You don't get the good signal.
I only pay like $100 a month for 100 megs, and I usually average about 15 to 20. So,
yeah, isn't that a bitch?
Yeah,
it could be your router.
Do they make you have the best internet available because you work from home?
No, I just have it.
They make my wife have a higher speed internet because she works from home, because it's less likely to drop when she's doing work.
Do they help her supplement with that at all?
Yeah, they do. There's a stipend that's included in her pay or whatever.
They used to do it for us, and then one day they were just like, "Look, it's a privilege to work at home. You can either pay for your internet or don't work from home."
That's
but
fair.
you got to. I'm like you though, Brandon. I've got Trenton right now on his phone and his Switch. I've got Marley on her phone. I got Allison on 2 laptops. I'm on my phone and a laptop. But they got to. I'm going to invest in the 3-pack of Google routers. Mm-hmm. They have them on sale for $250 for a 3-pack. That way I can put them upstairs, downstairs, all over. But for my work, it's hardwired in, so I never have problems with my work computer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the way to go. I was going to say we can talk offline about ways to mitigate that, but Brandon and I don't know if Brandon still does it, but I'm hardwired in, just because when we first started, we were having issues with connectivity and stuff like that, and that's a surefire way of mitigating it.
I think it was more with what we were recording with at the time. The service that we were trying to use. But yeah, let's get offline if we're going to talk about all this boring shit. So thank you guys for listening. Thanks for the downloads. Hope you tune back in next week. And yeah, have a good one. Peace.
Stay connected with Brandon and Zach on Facebook and Instagram at The Mess Podcast. And tune in next week for a brand new episode. And thanks for listening.